So let's go ahead to self-inflicted baggage. How do you feel about that?
I've dealt with this in so many different lights. I've seen so many women deal with self-inflicted baggage, not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy, not being loved, as we kind of touched on, not being smart enough, and the biggest one is not being beautiful enough. I feel that we have to really identify with ourselves and not think about all the negatives, because we can sit here and think about all the negatives within ourselves.
I don't like my hair.
Yeah.
I don't like my nails. Susie down the street, she got beautiful bronzy skin. Look at my skin.
It's a little rough. My neck is not, you know. my arms are not long enough. I'm too short.
I'm too fat.
I'm too fat. I'm too skinny.
Yes, I've heard that.
I'm too skinny. That's the way I used to be. I'm too skinny. You know? Oh, you know, my nose is not straight. You know, my lips are too big. We could go down the list of beauty, but identifying with yourself and knowing yourself and enhancing your natural beauty is something that any woman can do. And I mean, I feel that you cannot be, quote unquote, the society beauty, but how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, how you walk into a room definitely defines you, and you will be noticed. People will see you as a beautiful woman, and you first have to see yourself as a beautiful woman. You have to know what works for you. And I think that all women are beautiful, regardless where you're at, where you're from, what you've been through. Make that beauty stand out, and make it stand out for yourself, regardless.
I will also say that, you know, there are several different types of beauty, and that no one beauty definition is the same. So let's say that you want a man, but you feel as though you're not significant enough, or you're not skinny enough, or you're not curvaceous enough. But every man don't want a curvaceous woman. Every man don't want a skinny woman. Every man don't want a woman with long hair. And it's the same thing for women. We all don't like the same things. So it's a personal definition. So what is your personal definition of beauty? Not looking at what society believes beauty is. And yes, I'm a little curvaceous, but I am. However, I understand that despite of my curves, I am beautiful. And all my loveliness.
That subject is just so it's so serious, because I want to touch on society's definition of beauty, because you know, when we look at magazines, when we look at films, when we look at commercials, you got to understand that there's so many softwares, there's so much money invested into these people looking the way they do. And if we sat down, we had a good makeup artist, we had all this people doing your hair every day. When you wake up, somebody in your head. When you lay down, somebody in your head. When somebody's sitting there primping, pramping all day, every day, and that's your only job. We could look Hollywood. Anybody could look Hollywood.
But looking Hollywood doesn't mean that you feel beautiful.
Absolutely. I wanted to touch on that because that's society's image of beauty. And so often we use that as a template for our definition of beauty. And as she just explained, you have to have your own definition. Find out what you feel beauty is. So I just wanted to reiterate that point.
Thank you, Coach Keon.
You're so good. You're so good.
So another form of self-inflicted baggage is fear. And for me, I had a fear of failure.
Okay. How did that fear of failure affect you?
It crippled me for years and pushed me into a box where I stayed in a career that was not fulfilling for me, and that I couldn't do what God has sent me to do, which was to teach and be of service and uplift others, because of my fear. Fear of being in front of a camera. Fear of standing in front of people teaching. Fear of failure. Fear of stepping out of the door and falling. But if you never step out the door, you will always be stuck in a box.
Absolutely.